You're carrying our child, Eliana. Just let me take care of everything. Blinded by love, Eliana never questioned him. Each trip was luxurious, and she saw places she had only dreamed of visiting. But something strange always happened. Victor seemed nervous every time she returned. His hands would shake slightly as he took her suitcase, disappearing into their private study for long periods. One night, curiosity got the better of her. She peeked into his study, only to see him emptying her suitcase, checking the linings carefully. Her heart raced. Why was he acting this way? Before she could ask, Victor noticed her standing by the door and smiled. Just making sure everything is intact. You know how these airlines can be careless with luggage. Though her mind whispered that something was off, her heart refused to believe it. 7 months pregnant, Eliana was exhausted, yet Victor insisted on another trip. This will be the last one before the baby comes, he promised, caressing her swollen belly. She reluctantly agreed, though a strange feeling gnawed at her. The moment she arrived at the airport, something felt different. The security officers eyed her closely, their gazes lingering longer than usual. As she walked towards immigration, an officer stepped forward. "Ma'am, could you please step aside for a routine check?" Confused, she nodded. She had nothing to hide. The officer unzipped her bag and rummaged through it. Suddenly, he froze. His eyes darkened as he pulled out a small white packet wrapped in nylon from a hidden compartment inside the lining of her bag. Eliana's blood turned ice cold. "What is this?" the officer demanded, holding up the packet. Trembling, Eliana shook her head. I don't know. That's not mine." More officers arrived, their expressions stern. They searched further, uncovering several more packets tucked inside various parts of her suitcase. Panic gripped her throat. How did those get there? Who put them there? Victor's words echoed in her mind. "I always pack your bags myself." Realization hit her like a truck. Victor had been using her to smuggle drugs. Tears streamed down her face as she pleaded with the officers. "Please, you have to believe me. I had no idea." But they had heard such excuses before. She was immediately placed under arrest. Handcuffed and humiliated, Eliana was led through the airport, her swollen belly making it even harder to walk. Onlookers whispered, pointing at her in disgust. She begged to make a call, and when the officer finally allowed it, she dialed Victor's number with shaking hands. It rang once, twice, then went straight to voicemail. She tried again. No answer. Her heart pounded. She dialed their home number. Nothing. Desperation consumed her as she tried one last call to Victor's business partner, someone she had met a few times.